It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. Hour number 2 here as we're on 7 to 9 Monday through Friday. Video stream available over on tampabayradio.com. If you're just tuning in, had a good segment there in that first hour with Gary Dolgen, who's running for the Hillsborough County Circuit Court Judge Group 24, and so he appreciates your support, and he did a great job there on that segment. So very informative segment, and learned a lot in that segment.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
Absolutely. I've met him a number of times out at TBBO events, and he's been on the show before as well. So we appreciate you giving him his support out there and everything. Coming off a great event last night, our main event last night also.
Actually, that's a great time. I think we had around 85 or so people there. Great networking opportunity for business owners, and great, powerful presentations from quite a few of, they called it millennial podcasting.
Online millennials, yes.
Right.
Talking about the online marketplace and how they've developed their products online as a millennial and stuff. So.
Right. And I think you could take something from that at any age, whether, young or older or just starting out in a business, no matter what age. But it's great to listen to people and hear their stories of how they've done it and how they're making money and just the patience that it takes ultimately to get to where you're going.
Yep.
So it was a great time.
We encourage all business owners out there to get involved with us at Tampa Bay Business Owners, the main event. The big thing that we do on a monthly basis, always the first Wednesday of the month, so you can set that on your calendar as a member and know about that. And it's a great networking event and also educational opportunity, and it's at the Center Club, too.
Yeah, and it's great. I love how they talk about all the members. They have a member of the month, and then they actually talk about everything that's going on within the members' business and highlighting those and any type of milestones they might have hit or new products. And it's a great way to get everybody pumped up and promote them.
And also the radio show is a benefit of the organization. So if you're not familiar with TBBO, head over to either tampabayradio.com. There's information on it there, and also tbbo.org. You can learn more about that over there. We have monthly plans, and we have an annual plan, and then also upgrades to the different packages. And also we're always looking for sponsors and partners for the organization to get your brand in front of the business owners. Again, we are a big network of small business owners.
Yeah, and the big award show coming up in January.
January 23rd. That event is already beginning to sell very well. I've already sold 3 sponsorships to that, and so that should have in excess of probably 400 attendees at the event.
That'll be a great time.
And so if you want to attend that, be sure to get a ticket early, especially once I announce the nominees. I can't announce the nominees until January 9th, but that's when the ticket sales will really start to take off. But we're placing sponsors right now, including looking for a presenting sponsor, and we'll get your brand in front of over 100,000 people by putting your name on the graphic and the show cards for the nominees. And last year the event went viral. It was really something fascinating that I had created last year. So
I was not there last year, but this year I get to be a part of it.
Yes,
so I'm excited.
January 23rd. Tickets are available over at tbbo.org/awards. Also coming off a long night last night, the Cubs pulling off a great come from behind victory, being down 3-1 to pull off their first World Series victory since 1908. I thought I was going to be dragging today. I'm doing okay. My mind's clear. I'm used to getting more sleep. I'm not used to going to bed at 1 o'clock when I got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But, I'm coming through pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. Yeah, it's funny as you walk through the studio, everybody looks so tired.
It was a long night. So let's go ahead and bring in our guest for the segment here. We got Nick Paris, CEO of Alpha Computing Solutions, on this Tech Thursdays edition of the program. So we welcome Nick, who is outside the studio today and calling in and checking in with us today. So, Nick, how you doing today?
Doing good, Jamie. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
Did you have a long night last night, too, watching the game, or did you head to bed early?
It's kind of funny. We started to watch it, and we got to about the 9th inning. The problem is I'm at a conference today, and just didn't have the time to be able to stay up because I had to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. So we kind of cut it short. But it turns out that it was a really exciting game. So sorry I missed it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people probably tuned out coming back into the 10th inning, and they saw that tarp go on the field, including myself. I about turned the game off thinking, oh, man, this is going to be like an hour or two delay. I said, I can't stay up for this. Fortunately, the rain delay was only like 20 minutes or so, and got the game back on track. But, yeah, definitely one for the ages. And, I've got mixed emotions and stuff because my father has been pulling for the Cleveland Indians his entire life. And but Cubs definitely, one of America's teams, and it was great to see them pick up the victory.
And it was their time. I mean, 108 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Long enough to wait for them. So Nick, what conference? Yeah, what are you up there working on today?
Well, we're at a conference called the Florida Charter School Conference over here in Daytona Beach, and it's all the charter schools in the state get together and then sort of do the same thing like you were talking about the main event last night. They get together and they brainstorm about things, and it's an opportunity also for vendors to kind of meet them and kind of explain what they do and things like that. So it's been really interesting. Day one was yesterday. Day two is today, and we're really looking forward to it.
Very cool. So we'll talk a little bit about process in this segment. Process is key. Process is the differentiator. All companies sell a product or service, but when it comes down to it, the process oftentimes is a differentiator between, success and failure, or landing the client and not landing the client. So let's begin there.
Absolutely. So, I kind of had this situation come up with the conference. Actually, I was trying to get over here, and I'll get to kind of the story about what led to all this in a bit. But it kind of got me down this road of thinking about process, and I started thinking about, just like you said, all companies basically they sell either a product or service. I mean, that's really the kind of underlying reason for a company to be there. They're either selling a product, selling a service, or doing something. But when you look at it, really, if you're going to buy a jar of peanut butter or something like that, I mean, that jar of peanut butter has pretty much got the same cost from vendor to vendor. I mean, it's not like, one is going to be able to do it for half the production costs. I mean, the production costs and things like that are pretty much the same. But I truly believe that what the differentiator is really the process. It's, okay, how easy is it for me to buy this product or service? How good is the customer service afterwards? And how difficult is it to do business with a particular company? And I just am seeing that more and more, that I think the better companies, obviously, I think what they've done is they've gotten a good handle on process. They've
Right.
understood that, okay, there's got to be a process for going from point A to point B, and we could take all these little jogs in between, but it's probably better for us, which ends up being better for the customer, if we can draw a straight line between those 2 points.
Yeah.
So I truly believe that, process has to include technology. Technology is, it's just very vital to any business. But I think part of that is there's got to be a hand-in-hand sort of marriage between, okay, here's our process, but how can we integrate technology, and how can technology help the process so that we can provide a better product and or service to our customers?
Yeah, we touch on process a lot on Focus Fridays with Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy. I mean, she is all about process, and it's funny, too, when I tell her about something that's not working right, she's like, I got a process for that. So, I hear it all the time from Julianne. That's one of her specialties. And I'm pretty good with the processes and stuff, too, but there are some things out there I just kind of wing and let it flow and deal with it as it comes. But in IT, it's all about the, processes and stuff. So tell me a little bit about, how Alpha Computing Solutions works with customers as it relates to process.
Well, one of the things that we like to do is come in early in, and when we sit down, we kind of look at, okay, well, what's your infrastructure, what's things like that, kind of the basic stuff. Is the infrastructure and does the technology here support you being able to do your business in an efficient way? Once we kind of get over that hurdle and we feel comfortable that, okay, the appropriate hardware and software is in place to be able to kind of let them do business well, we then say, okay, what is it that you feel you've heard from your customers that is a stumbling block or is a hurdle? And let's identify those issues, and let's now see, okay, well, what's your process for doing that? And a lot of times, Jamie, just like you said, people don't have a process. I mean, they're just in there, and they're more concerned about their day-to-day business and trying to get it done, rather than pulling back for a little bit and looking at the overall, process of things and say, oh, okay, well, yeah, we open if we're a law firm, we open a case doing it this way, but if we tweaked it just a little bit, we might be able to make it a lot less painful for the customer, our client, and we might be able to get a faster turnaround and all that sort of stuff.
Right, and prices are pretty much the same across the board, and a lot of times, and I'm sure in IT, you're competing against people on similar pricing and stuff, and so by showing them the process to make their life easier can be the differentiator between getting the business.
Absolutely, and again, people want to do business with people they like, and if you look at it, and it's difficult, if they call in and they're trying to get a hold of somebody and they can't get a hold of somebody, unfortunately, nowadays they're just going to hang up. They're going to go to the next person. And so your process, even for something as simple as answering the phone, is crucial. You got to make sure that you're doing things in a way that makes it easy for somebody to do business with you.
Yeah, and we talk a lot of times about how communication these days is a challenge. You almost got to get a process now on how to communicate with your clients on the intake process, or using email or using text or using phone, Facebook message.
Right.
I mean, you shared a story last week with one of your clients who only wants to communicate with you via Facebook.
Right, absolutely. and so for that one client, that's my process for him, is to try to communicate that way. But it was a change for us because, like I said, normally that's not the way we communicate. We communicate in more traditional fashions. But, it's an ever-changing world. And I think, that also begs the point that you do have to look at your process every now and again. You either need to do it quarterly or semi-annually and just sort of say, is it working? As I've got one colleague who likes to say, rinse and repeat. You just kind of go through that process. You look at it. You have some metrics that say, okay, we've measured this. Again, going back to the law firm, okay, well, it used to take us, a week to open a case. Now we've got that down to about 4 days or maybe 3 days. Is there any way we can shave anything else off of that? And things change, and the technology changes. And so there may be ways that technology can help, but you've got to go through that almost process of reviewing your processes to make sure that you're doing things as efficiently as possible, because the less time that it takes you to do something, the lower the price can be.
Yeah, I think one problem for business owners is that a lot of the times, especially if we're not tech savvy, we don't know what can be simplified. We don't understand really what can be implemented. Like, we don't even know what the options are. And I think that's why it's so important to talk to an expert like Alpha Computing Solutions, so that we're aware of what the options are. And then we're like, wow, I could have done it that way all this time. And a lot of times, we don't know.
Absolutely. Well, I kind of liken it to going to the doctor. You don't try to do surgery on yourself. You go to a doctor and have them diagnose it and tell you what's going on, and they're up to date on the latest medicines and things like that. So yeah, it's absolutely, you're absolutely right, Kelly. I mean, it's important to concentrate on your business. I mean, that's really what you should be doing. You should be out there trying to sell your product and or your service, but you should also surround yourself with accountants, technology people, legal people, people in their field that can help you with your process so that you're doing it better.
Currently talking to Nick Paris. He's the CEO of Alpha Computing Solutions. You can learn more about him at alphacomputing.com, or pick up the phone and give him a call for all of your IT needs at 813-839-7671. He's at extension 100. Again, 813-839-7671, extension 100, or alphacomputing.com. Coming back from the break, we're going to discuss process as it relates to Amazon. He's got a story he's going to share with us when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today, or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Good morning, crash in Pinellas Park on southbound US 19 at Mainlands. This one in the left-hand lane. Very heavy traffic on northbound 275 from before downtown St. Pete to Gandy Boulevard. Crash off to the right-hand side there. Heavy traffic on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway from before Waters to 275. Had a crash near the airport area. It is now cleared up, but that is causing big delays on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue and also eastbound Courtney Campbell Causeway. See traffic problems. Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. Around the world, there are young people who face a difficult decision: continue their dream of education or drop out to help support their families. In a single moment, you can help them write a new story. See potential, not poverty, at unbound.org.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a 10% rain chance, high 84. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a 10% chance of showers, high 82.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to the Tech Thursdays edition of That Business Show, now with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Talking with Nick Paris. He's the CEO of Alpha Computing Solutions, and learn more about him at alphacomputing.com. And for all of your IT needs, you can give him a call again, 813-839-7671, extension 100. And so, Nick, how does Amazon come into play in all this?
So we, as I said, we're at this conference, and I don't know how many of the listeners actually know sort of what the process is behind the conference, but you get a booth, and you're able to bring in your wares and set up a table and so on and so forth. And typically what they do is they they put a very small, almost like paper banner at the back of the booth to sort of let you know where your booth is located, for one. But sometimes some of the vendors just leave that sign up. And I'm never believed that looks very good. I always feel like you should have your own, brand, your logo, and all that sort of stuff prominently displayed up at the top. The thing is, you have to hang it. You have to take something that allows you to hang your banner over whatever system that they've got in place. And typically you use what is called an S hook. It looks just like it sounds. It's just like an S, and you'll see it on some shower curtain rods and things of that nature. So I talked to the conference people, and I said, we can't seem to find our S hooks. Do you provide them? And they said, yeah, just talk to the guy, at the loading dock, and he should have them there. And there was just something that just sort of in the back of my head, I said, you know what, we should go prepared. Let's not go hoping that we can find this guy and he's got the hooks and all that kind of stuff. So we started on a quest to find S hooks that would work. And I have to tell you, there was nowhere in town that we went to that we could find them. And we went to Lowe's and Home Depot and Target and Walmart and all, just everything to try to find S hooks, and we just couldn't find. We could find S hooks, but they were very, very small, and they just weren't going to work for what we needed. And so it got to be this past Saturday, and I thought, well, we're just going to have to roll the dice, and we'll see what we get when we get there. And I was talking to my wife about it, and she said, why don't we look online? And I said, we'll never get them in time. We have to leave Tuesday. It just won't come. So she said, well, let me do a little bit of work. So she goes online, she starts looking around, and lo and behold, she lands on Amazon. And she lands on Amazon, and she says, hey, look, they're about $6 or $7, and we get 10, and I think they're the right size. So I look at it, I said, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I said, but, we're never going to get them in time. And she says, no, look, we can get them same day. And that just floored me.
Same day. How'd that work? They go to a local store and drive them over to you?
Well, I don't know how they would do that, but let me tell you, we didn't do that option, but we did next day. Because again, the price was like $40 to get it same day, and I thought, well, it's not worth that. But it was, next day was just a few bucks. And I thought, well, okay, again, we'll be lucky if we get it on a Sunday. I mean, again, we were now talking about a Sunday. And we were getting ready to leave on Sunday to go have our weekly brunch, just to kind of plan our week and all that. And we walked out the door, and we walked out the garage door, and my wife looked over at the front of the house, and sure enough, there was our package from Amazon by 11:30 on Sunday morning.
Wow.
And I thought, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, wow. I mean, here we were. I was thinking the whole time it wasn't going to come until sometime on Monday. And it was going to kind of cut it close and all that. But let me tell you, it was a matter of finding the product, clicking on what we wanted, putting in our information, and we were done. And I thought, you know what? Those guys have figured out the process.
Yeah.
They know that the cost of these S hooks is not going to change. I mean, the cost of the S hooks was the same no matter where we were kind of going. But it was the fact that they could get them to us on time and when we needed them, and for a reasonable price. And that just really got me thinking about, I haven't talked about process in a while with my customers, and I thought it would be a good topic for today. But yeah, I was absolutely stunned. I mean, they had it to us in less than 24 hours. It was, for all intents and purposes, for me, it was same day.
Yeah, my dad had always taught me, he said, for every problem, process is the solution. And so for every problem, again, process is solution. And quickly, I'm reminded of a story of the founding of FedEx. In the 70s, the founder was at Harvard or Yale or something, had to write a paper on a new revolutionary idea and how it would be presented. He wrote on overnight delivery. The professor said, it's well written, well presented, but for anything to get a grade higher than a C, it must be a feasible idea. He would then go on to found FedEx years later and everything. So they didn't believe it was possible back in the 70s. So, Nick, we got to wrap it up. So I appreciate you checking in on this Tech Thursdays.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
All right, Nick, we'll see Nick on the next edition of Tech Thursdays. He's in here again every other Thursday on That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. Learn more about him at alphacomputing.com, or for all of your IT needs, you can give him a call at 813-839-7671. Again, 813-839-7671, extension 100. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking chiropractic with Dr. Shannon Whitlock on That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ham from Bill Meyer Ham Consulting. Did you know that one of the biggest challenges that leaders face is getting their employees to be engaged, motivated, and producing amazing business results? At Bill Meyer Ham Consulting, we'll help you transform your workforce culture from one that might be underperforming, maybe mediocre, to achieving amazing business results. You see, we realize that your workforce culture is equally as important as your business plan and your business strategy. The two must be aligned in order for you to reach your desired business and financial goals.
Carol,
hey, Jim.
I just got this plan that could really help with our process here.
Okay, why don't you just have a seat and let's go over it.
Let us help you transform your workforce culture by leveraging your most important assets, your people. I want to know what's going on in your organization. Let us help you transform your workforce culture. Let's have a conversation.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Abrahamson, your Hillsborough traffic tip line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Bexley. Looking for adventure in a place you can call your own? Bexley, a new home community opening November 12th in Pasco County, will offer miles of trails, acres of open space, and new homes, now pre-selling. Learn more at BexleyFlorida.com. That's BexleyFlorida.com.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Nice day, partly sunny skies, cooler. We'll see temperatures into the lower 80s. Could see a stray shower pop up as well today. Mid to upper 60s for the low. Tomorrow, low 80s, 20% chance of rain. Still looking at sunny skies through the weekend, mid-upper 70s. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. If you're wondering how to get onto the program, you can fill out our request form over at tbsinterview.com and see some answers to some FAQs about the show. It's also a member benefit of joining the Tampa Bay Business Owners, where not only do you get to come onto the radio show, but you get to come out to a lot of different events free of charge focused on education and collaboration. And you can even give back to the community as well with your area of expertise. So, again, about 300 members, and you can learn more at TampaBayRadio.com as well as tbbo.org. So let's bring in our next guest for the show, Dr. Shannon Whitlock, who's also a returning guest to the program. She is a chiropractor and owner of Happy Healthy Spine. You can learn more about her, happyhealthyspine.org. So, Shannon, welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, chiropractic is one of those areas of medicine that, kind of some people, love and some people are scared of. So, first off, let's just begin with a basic of, what is chiropractic care?
So chiropractic care is the alignment of the spine, taking pressure off of the nerves, so removing interferences in the nervous system. And
going back to like 18th or 19th century, chiropractic was founded around the idea that all diseases emanate from the spine, the pressures that the discs put on the different nerves and everything. And so a lot of typical medical doctors kind of deem that voodoo science and stuff. So that's kind of, where chiropractic came from. How is it practiced today versus how it was founded, though, in the early 18th century?
I don't think it's much different. The premise is that you have the brain with the spinal cord and spinal nerves coming out of the spinal cord, and those nerves innervate every muscle, tissue, and organ in the entire body. Mm-hmm. So if there's interference, which is just a slight amount of pressure, about the weight of a dime, that's put on that nervous system, it decreases its function of wherever that nerve's going. A lot of times you're not going to feel pain if there's pressure that's put on that nerve. It's just decreasing the messages, or the messages are being sent from the brain to the spinal cord out through the spinal nerves. So if it's pressure is put on it, decreases the function. Might be going to the kidneys. You're not necessarily going to feel kidney pain, but it's going to decrease the messages, decrease the function to the kidneys. So the messages aren't allowed to be effectively sent to that area. So kind of like a garden hose. If you put a kink in a garden hose, less water is going to come out, but still some water may come out. Same thing with the nerves. Pressure is going to still has a little bit of function, but it would be better off if that pressure is taken off.
I think we eventually just get used to the pressure. At least I know in my case, sometimes if you have pain or discomfort or pressure, over time you get used to it. I never really thought my tolerance for pain was high, but I think it is because I think I've dealt with,
I bring that up
problems.
because I've been to a number of chiropractors and I love going to chiropractors, but I've seen differences and it relates to medical versus therapeutic. Some chiropractors, they treat it as you go in there, you get some adjustments, you get a massage, it feels good. Others, you then begin to explain to you how the nervous system is working with the body and how like applied kinesiology techniques can then, make the body become stronger and everything. And that's why I bring that up because I see like a difference between certain chiropractors. Is that really what's going on in the chiropractic community?
Absolutely. We have some that focus on car accidents and injuries. We have others that focus on wellness and the innate intelligence of the body able to function without interference. It's all based on the same thing. Everyone, it's the spine we're working on. But there are a lot of specialties. I am in pediatrics and pregnancy, but I see that the whole family and a lot of parents and adults, children, they all come to me for wellness. Some come in with symptoms. I don't treat symptoms. I just work on the body, relieving that pressure, and a lot of times I see the symptoms resolve. There are other chiropractors that just trying to get you out of pain, and then you're on your way.
Right.
I like to see families for a lifetime, just like you go to the dentist, twice a year you should be going. The same thing. You need to come in, check maintenance after your spine is back in alignment. Come in about once a month just to make sure that you're in alignment.
So earlier, Jamie said diseases are resonated from the spine.
Originating from the pressure that the discs are putting on the nerves in the spine.
So with me dealing with pressure and just being used to tolerating the pain, you're saying over time it can actually lead to other things?
It can lead to disease, absolutely. So like I said, those nerves innervate every muscle, tissue, and organ in your entire body. So if you have pressure, your body starts to compensate and disease can occur.
Oh, that's not a good thought. I thought it was just pain, and I know the disc and things can get dislocated or different, I don't know, what's the terminology they use? Like if you have a disc on your lower back.
Herniated disc?
Oh, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, I've had lower back pain most of my life. I got rid of it. It still comes back in waves sometimes, but I used a technique called vertical axial decompression therapy that took care of me because I went to a neurologist complaining of lower back pain. They did an MRI and they showed the deteriorated discs and said you needed to have spinal fusion surgery, which is something that's very, very difficult on the body and doesn't benefit a lot of people. A lot of people come out of spinal fusion surgeries worse off than when they went in.
Absolutely.
Did you have that?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
No. I did the vertical axial decompression treatment. Is that in practice much in your practice, or do you use that?
I don't, but it is a great thing to do, and I have many colleagues that do that.
Explain what's going on with that.
The flexion distraction, so opening up the disc space, allowing more fluid to flow in those discs, decreasing the pressure on the nerves. It just opens it up and allows more fluid movement in there.
One of the things I've found that I enjoy much, I have not had luck with a chiropractor as far as them being able to adjust me, but one thing that I have found great relief from is just stretching. Stretching, especially my hips and pulling, my head in one direction and then my lower body in another. And the relief, it's like for a second, there's no discomfort.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
pain, no anything.
And that's kind of what the flexion distraction that you had probably done was doing for you, is opening up the disc space. And
what do you recommend for someone in my case where we don't relax well, we're not easily calmed down, and I've not been able. I've attempted to be adjusted a couple times, but they cannot. Like they can't move me, and I've tried massages and done different things. Any recommendations?
Well, there's many different techniques. Some people don't like the twisting, the popping noise, which actually is not your bones cracking. What it is in between the joints is synovial fluid. And when the gases in between the joints in that fluid are released, that's when you hear the sound. So kind of like when you crack your knuckles, you hear the sound. Kind of bubbles up in that joint, and you're not able to make that same cracking sound. I hate the word cracking, by the way. It doesn't make that sound for a few minutes because it's bubbling up and it has to go back into the joint. So some people don't like that noise, and that's okay because I use many different techniques. One would be the table. It's a drop table, lifts up and drops down. That works on the pelvis area. And then I also use a tool called an activator, which is very gentle, low force, high velocity. I use it on the neck. People that don't like the sound. I also use it on infants, pregnant women, because it's very gentle.
Yeah, and you are schooled in a technique called the Webster technique,
Yep.
right? And
Yes.
there's not a lot of the people that do that. Explain what this is and how this relates.
Yeah, so I'm certified in the Webster technique. It's through the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. It's a very specific technique for pregnant women. Very gentle. So as a woman is pregnant and the abdomen is protruding, the breasts are getting larger, preparing for the baby. A lot of things can occur in the spine. There's the muscles become very tight, the abdomen protrudes forward, the center of gravity shifts, and it puts a lot of strain on the ligaments and the alignment of the spine. Oftentimes, it becomes misaligned. So what I do is I focus on the pelvis and the ligaments in the mom with the growing baby. So I don't actually touch the baby at any point. I'm adjusting the pelvis and releasing the tension on that pelvis, working on those ligaments so that the uterus can get larger symmetrically.
And this makes the delivery easier at the end?
Yeah, so
That's
a lot of my moms are reporting faster labor, easier labor. And it's because that pelvis is aligned nice and open so the baby can pass through the birthing canal. There's been some misconceptions. I've heard a lot of, oh, the Webster technique is for turning breech babies, which is actually not the case. What we do is working on the mom only. We don't ever touch the baby. But because the uterus is nice and symmetrical, because I'm releasing the tension on the ligaments, aligning that pelvis, a lot of times it allows the baby to get in its own optimal position, whatever that may be. And so it's been correlated with turning breech babies, which we do not do. That's practicing obstetrics, which we're not part of. We're just focusing on the mom and opening up those hips and making it so that the mom has plenty of space for that growing baby.
So when does a pregnant woman then begin the Webster technique to make it most effective? Right at conception or down the road?
Yeah, ideally right at conception so that they can have an easier pregnancy. Absolutely. I see a lot of conditions such as low back pain, the mid back around the bra line getting very tight, the neck and the shoulders because of the center of gravity is shifting forward because of the abdomen and the breast getting larger. So it puts a lot of strain and they're feeling uncomfortable. They might have heartburn. They might have some sciatica, pain down the legs, swollen ankles, heartburn. Those all correlated with pregnancy.
All the wonderful things you encounter while you're pregnant. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't treat the symptoms. What I do is remove the interference in the nervous system. And a lot of times I see those things go away.
Right. Now, our adjustments, I know you're going to say, they're safe and everything, but you hear sometimes about risks with neck adjustments, people that are fearful of neck adjustments. Can talk to us a little bit about adjusting the neck. Should it be done, and is it always safe?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100% safe. It's very gentle. There's, like I said, there's many different techniques. So the people that don't like the popping sound, you can use the activator, but it's very gentle. My malpractice insurance is less than $1,000 a year, and compared to medical doctors, which pay thousands and thousands. So malpractice insurance is based on your risk of injuring a patient. So that to me proves that my risk of injuring you
so low,
is very low in comparison to other physicians. But yeah, it's very safe. There's a lot of stuff in the media that goes around that it's not safe, but it is.
Right. And, as a chiropractor and everything, you hear, about that, in the news from time to time. You hear these stories and everything. And so, how do you work to dispel those myths out there when people come to you?
I really just explain how it works. And like I said, removing the interference of the nervous system. I do a full history. And I do a full physical exam on that patient. So if I'm seeing red flags, I will definitely send them out. I think that the things that are correlated with problems with adjusting in the neck has been related to maybe things that have been missed in that process of examining that patient thoroughly, taking the history. But I always refer out if I see any red flags that patient is going to get a second opinion. It's going to go to a medical doctor or neurologist to get.
A key thing that I think a lot of people don't know about chiropractors are you do not prescribe medication. You'd have to go to an MD for that. Do you get patients that come into your chiropractic office expecting to get painkillers and stuff, or are people more educated on that?
Yeah,
now?
I don't. I do have some friends that specialize in car accidents, and I'm seeing that they are getting those questions. I don't usually, because I'm family wellness. I'm seeing a lot of pregnant moms and children, and they're looking for natural alternatives to overall wealth and.
Okay, so your specialty focuses on the family and the youth and then the mothers versus people that are in pain, like the car accident victims.
Yeah, I mean, I do get people that are in pain, but they're looking for alternatives. They don't want to have that surgery. They don't want to be on medications. They're looking for other ways to help them get better and on the road to wellness.
Yeah, I have a couple of family members that have avoided surgeries and through the chiropractic and having and they had great results from it. So.
No, I was fortunate that I looked up and found VaxD before I went through a spinal fusion surgery myself. I love going to chiropractors. I greatly enjoy the practice, and it's very therapeutic. And you got some great little tools over there that you all use also.
Yeah.
little like electropad that you put on the back there, like it feels like a bunch of needles in the back. And, different. What's that thing called?
The TENS unit.
TENS unit. I love
needles
that.
in the back. Yeah, that's
they can turn. To the degree that they turn it up, it can become very uncomfortable. If they put it, to a certain setting, it feels nice, like having a little massage and stuff.
Yeah, it helps relax the muscles before the adjustments.
Currently talking to, again, Dr. Shannon Whitlock. She is a family wellness chiropractor and owner of Happy Healthy Spine. You can learn more about her at happyhealthyspine.org. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round. And number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Heavy traffic continues in St. Pete on northbound 275 from before downtown to past 54th Avenue North. Nothing blocking lanes. Everyone just slowing down to look at a crash off to the side. Once you get past this wreck, it's free and clear all the way into downtown Tampa. No delays to report on the Howard Franklin Bridge. Still have those big delays on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway from just south of Gun Highway to just south of Hillsborough Avenue. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Urich, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the 2017 Pro Bowl. The NFL Pro Bowl is coming to Orlando January 29th. Don't miss your chance to see NFL greats compete live and inspire the next generation of stars and fans. Tickets on sale now, starting as low as $45. Buy now at NFL.com/Pro Bowl on sale.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a 10% rain chance, high 84. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a 10% chance of showers, high 82.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Talking chiropractic with Dr. Shannon Whitlock, owner of Happy Healthy Spine. Learn more at her site, happyhealthyspine.org.
During the break, we talked a little bit about children, and I was curious to know, like, what is the youngest patient that you've I can't, it's hard to think, I've been hesitant going to a chiropractor. I look forward to now, and I'm going to definitely think about it, especially coming where I'll feel safe with you. but bringing children and thinking, especially having a newborn grandchild, being a couple weeks old now, and actually hearing what she went through the labor and almost 2 days in labor. I wish she would have seen you to begin with. She might have had an easier delivery. What is the youngest patient that you've had coming in, or when moms or parents are bringing them in? How early are they bringing them in?
I've seen quite a few patients hours old, women that have given birth at home or at the birth center or at the hospital, and their first trip after they go to the pediatrician, they come straight to me and have their baby checked. And the reason for that is the amount of pressure that's put on that cervical spine during a birthing process, whether it's a vaginal birth, a C-section birth, whether there was an epidural or no epidural, there's still tons of pressure, the twisting and turning that it takes for the baby's head to come through the birth canal or out through the abdomen in a C-section, tons of pressure. If you've ever watched a video of a birth, you can see the twisting and turning that occurs. So a lot of times the first misalignment occurs in that cervical spine, the first bone in the neck, which is where the brainstem connects and becomes the spinal cord. So it's so important to take that pressure off of that spinal cord so that the baby has interference free and starts off life with no interference in that nervous system.
Well, and then too, I know the cord around the neck is a common problem, and actually that's they were experiencing too with the delivery a couple weeks ago, and it scared all of us. But they were, oh no, it's common, and we know how to get the cord around. I mean, and they acted like it was okay, so calmed us a little bit. But does that have any effect too?
Oh, absolutely, and that's definitely should be checked. I believe every newborn should be checked, and I do. My patients that are pregnant and come to me throughout pregnancy, or even if they come to me towards the end and they're in pain, I still encourage them to always bring the baby in as soon as possible so they can get checked and make sure that there's no interference in that nervous system.
Babies are so fragile. It's like, how do you just, are you feeling? Can you just feel the neck or the certain places and know that something's not right?
Yeah, so I have extra training, over 200 hours in pediatrics and pregnant women. So I don't recommend just any random person checking an infant, but because I do have
that's your specialty.
Extra hours. Yes, that is where I have all my focus. But it's very light and gentle. I use my pinkies, and I'm just checking for motion in the spine. I go along the entire spine just to make sure there's no misalignments. As they go through their developmental stages, they start to lift their head, they start to roll, they start walking and falling on their bottom tons of different times. When the parents are lifting their legs up to change the diaper, that can also cause misalignments. So there's tons of things that can cause misalignments. People are like, well, why does an infant need to be adjusted? Because that can occur. The littlest things can cause the bone to move out of place, putting pressure. So a lot of times I see moms or dads bring in the baby for things. Oh, they have colic, they have ear infections, they're constipated, whatever the case may be. And I always remind them, I don't treat symptoms. I'm not treating the colic. I'm not treating the reflux. I am treating the spine, taking the pressure off of the spine. And a lot of times we'll see those symptoms resolve. My most recent case that I had in this week, or that came to me after they've been under a couple of adjustments, the baby was hours old, was having trouble latching, and also was very colicky, screaming nonstop. Well, I've seen the baby 3 times. The mom brought the baby back in this week, and the screaming has ended. There's no more screaming, and the latch is much better. So I also work on the cranial bones, the TMJ, making sure that that's moving properly, it's symmetrical, which really helps with the latch, and also that top bone in the neck, the cervical vertebrae, the C1 atlas, which is in the cervical vertebrae. If that is misaligned, it kind of restricts the babies from turning from side to side, so they might only prefer one breast over the other. But anyways, in that case, I removed the pressure off of the nervous system, and the baby saw great results.
That solved the problem. Wow.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? I just didn't realize that was possible.
Shannon, where are you located at?
I am off of 275 in downtown St. Pete, off 20th Street and 1st Avenue North.
All right. A good discussion on chiropractic and specializing in pediatric and also pregnant women to help make the delivery much easier through the Webster technique. So Dr. Shannon Whitlock, thank you so much for being in studio.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for enlightening me.
And again, you can learn more at happyhealthyspine.org or give her a call, 727-767-0564. 727-767-0564, happyhealthyspine.org. Learn more about this program over at tampabayradio.com, and if you'd like to request an interview, please visit tbsinterview.com. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.